Ahoy hoy! Hello one and all, and welcome to me here on something of a different format. I've been having a lot of technical problems lately, so what have I done? Well, I've having to record on this tablet at the moment. Technical problems in the way that on the Windows PC, just volume hasn't been high enough, and I've been trying to do what I can to get converters or whatever to increase the volume on videos. Yeah, that's not working. That's not good enough. You know, it needs to be. I mean, we're in a technological age where technology is supposed to be advanced. So you need someone that's not very tech savvy to be able to come along and just click the thing on. But there's conditions, there's problems, there's so very much, and they want me to spend quite a lot of money to be able to do it properly. When I've already got a Mac that in all likelihood could do it for me with what I've got on it, but it needs fixing. Hiba diba. I need to get that done anyway. Anyway, look, let's get on with what we're here to get on with, shall we? And by the way, just for the record, I've already recorded this video once today, so I'm having to do it again. That was about 27 minutes long of me talking into a camera that of course wasn't loud enough, and there was no way to increase that. So here we go. I'm going to try and keep this brief, let's just say. So where we left off, it's the harsh winter. Files should be below for you to see the GM notes, and the guys have just lost, well, Tanadal's just lost Harold, his red lion, to a terrible attack from Squire. He's beheaded the lion. And then they meet up with Morvan, who they knew from before. And then they carry on. They hear the howling of wolves, and they don't like it. They know they're going to get attacked at some point on all sides. They can hear it all around them. They're being stalked, basically. And this has been happening over the last few days. But there's an attack imminent. Just there's so many now, and they're baying and going for it. So they want to get away from it, so they're going to what they find an ice tunnel that goes under the ground. So down they go. And Chris's mage, Tim Bob George, he's a Tevinter, of course, he decides to fire ball down the way. So he Hadoukens this thing down the tunnel, and of course it's ice, so it will melt. Oh my god! And dripping and the things and the oh my god and the hurry up because it's melting now. And by the way, did you know it's water underneath? You didn't? Oh, you best hurry up. So they hurry up, and then who's standing at the end of the tunnel as the light at the end of the tunnel with a fiery sword? Well, it's Squire, of course. Squire is waiting for them, taunting them, goading them, and Tanadal bites and runs towards him. Runs, and Squire takes his hot sword and the ice around him and plunges, falls down into the water and disappears under the murk, and Tanadal's like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And then the gap between the two ice is pulling apart more and more, and the guys are running forward and run past Tanadal, and they're like, run, you fool, run! And they start trying to jump the gap, and those that don't make it, the others grab them and drag them up and sort of things. And Tanadal, he works out that Squire's gone back the way they came from. Tanadal starts following him back to that point, and it cuts open. And at this point, Squire starts trying to thrust the flaming blade from underneath the sheets of ice, stabbing it up and trying to cut Tanadal off from his team so that he will float away down the thing and get him into the water with him, so there's no way of him getting recovered. Well, Tanadal goes nuts and jumps on Squire, and he's so hot-headed that he just falls for it completely, and then Squire's got him, and he puts him in this grip, like a dead man's grip under the water, and Squire doesn't seem to care about drowning for whatever reason, but he's trying to drown Tanadal. So he's holding him under the water there, this freezing cold, terrible water, and Tanadal's taking massive damage from just all of that, and the shock factor, and the shock to his system, and just how cold it is, and Squire just Yeah, is holding him like a locked thing. And Tanador, as strong as he is, can't break the grip. And, he's running out of air. And he takes his sword and swings it under the water. And, of course, it's thicker and harder. And he has to exert more strength to do it. And that's taking fatigue damage loss as well to his hit points. And he swings and he's, like, hacking into the arm. And hacks again into Squire's arm. And crash and hacks enough until the arm's not really working properly anymore from Squire, and he lets go, and the whole water just fills with blood, clouds of red. And Tanador, like he was so hot-headed, and then being in the water, being in those cold depths, have brought him to his senses. It's shocked him out of it, and he's like climbing up and smack his axe against the side and pull himself back up onto the thing, and Squire's not following seemingly, and he's not there, with like an arm half hanging off. Now, oh my God. Right. He decides, yeah, okay, word to the wise, I'll get out of here. So he does a runner, catches up with the group. They all move out together, out of the tunnel, and that's when the wolves attack. Oh my God. And these are the new, revved up, more powerful wolves, ready to be able to kill anybody. These are the ones that you'll find in the file that I made, because wolves were always a laughing stock. Well, you know what this group did? You know what this group did? Oh, God, turn them into trash mobs. They've got savage onslaught, they've got kill to eat, they've got these things in there, they pull the people apart, take them out of heal range, all the nice things with the nice things, but the healers, they know what to do. Karak, he's a spirit healer, he's just crazy, crazy powerful. He goes, I heal you all, I heal you all, I heal you all. Oh, I can't reach you, I move a little bit. No, I heal you all. And it didn't matter what the wolves did. They were just coming on, outnumbering people. It just didn't matter. The group were just making a joke out of them. So, it got to the point where it was boring. So, hurried it up, hurried it through, beat the wolves real easy. Oh my God, what have you done to my wolves? Right. So the guys carry on, and there's a drift up ahead. And who's waiting at the top of it? Well, it's our old friend Squire, of course. And Squire's waiting up there, kind of goading Tanador to come running up the hill up to him. But he doesn't. He works out that it's a drift there, and that he'll fall in and get lost. So he's trying to do that, but Tanador decides to try and go around, and they do identify it correctly as a drift. And they go around to try and find him that way, and they don't find him. So that's that. They come to a bunch of trees, and they've got snow sitting on the top of them in a scene called Overburdened. This is supposed to be kind of a little bit of a dangerous thing where, slight vibration, it sets off all the snow all falling down, and then chain reactions from all the trees everywhere, and you suddenly get buried by snow, and it'd be very cold and chilly and nasty and fatiguey, and maybe kind of dig your way out or whatever. But they saw that coming as well, and Karak's like, oh, I don't like the look of that, and he's like, Mind Blast, because it's like 50-meter range or whatever, 50-yard range. Yards, meters, these games differentiate, swap it up, don't they? The whole, just everything all comes down at once, whoom, from one big good mind blast. So, God almighty. There's kind of a foreshadow to that scene, though. It's more of a precursor for what's coming up now, because then they've been making really good time because of Aldrich Point, the Orlesian Grey Warden, played by Joel, our new guy. The other two new guys weren't present. They've only had the one session so far, the elf and the dwarf. I don't know if they're going to be long-termers or whatever, but, they kind of met the group, and there are divergences when you're travelling anyway. People come in, and then they go away again. You travel with them for a day or two. So, even things like that, it's totally workable, and it actually helps to add to some of the sense of realism on the road, perhaps, even if they didn't join in a long-term capacity or in a stuttering manner. So then there was a nice fight between a mountain goat and a halla up on the mountains around them, and this is the last push before Denerim. And they weren't necessarily being as quiet as they could have been, the party that is, as well, and an avalanche starts. Maybe it's from the animals fighting, maybe it's from the party talking, who knows, but it all comes down and buries them in this kind of gully area, and they could have gone round it, to be fair, they could have, but the choice would then have been to delay by very many days, and they didn't want to risk getting locked out of Denerim, because once the gates were going to shut, that was going to be it. So, down it comes, and they are all buried under snow. I then tell them, look, each of you are submerged. It's dark down there, it's cold. I start the timer going, realistic timer of how many minutes of air they would actually have in that situation, which is 15, I might add, before you suffocate. So I had that timer going, I said, this is how long you've got to live in real time. Pop! Right in front of them. I say, you can't speak to me out loud about solutions to the problem. You're not allowed to confer with each other. Please communicate to me via post-it notes. And so that's what we had to do. Tanador worked out how to get out immediately and began getting on with getting out. So that's what he did. And if you were in this situation, you don't know which way is up, which way is down. The snow is supporting you equally on all sides, even though there was a bit of an argument with Craig on this front, because he said, no, there'd be a natural feel towards the direction or whatever. And I said, look, you're under duress, it's cold, you can't feel properly, it's numbing your skin, and literally you are buried in on all sides, even if you dig a bit out. Yeah, to try and work out which way your body's natural senses. You could be tipped off to the side. You might be kind of diagonal like that. I worked out everyone's positions. I pre-marked them using a Warhammer scatter die. So wherever the arrow ended up rolling, that was what was going to be showing them what they thought was up, sort of thing. Only one of them had the actual true up anyway, so that was funny. And Tanador's like first out, along, of course, with Morvan and Blacktail, because Blacktail's good at getting out of everything, and they start trying to look for the other people as well, and the others start popping up. They found Karak managed to find Aldrich, discover where he was, or was it the other way around? Anyway, one warden found the other one using the fact that they both got the Darkspawn blood, and I think you're kind of in this position, something like that. And then the real struggle was Amelia. I mean, yeah, she's got all that armour on, and it makes it very hard to move in those conditions as well. But she didn't know which way which way was up, and she really couldn't figure anything out. And it was coming down to the wire. In a situation like this, I've had something prepared for when it's kind of last minute and they've got just enough time to get out still. Maybe throw a cunning test at them, which is basically the int of this system, to have them figure out a solution, or the appropriate solution. Now, if it's you in this situation, what are you going to do to escape? How do you figure out which way is up to get out? Because you might be digging yourself deeper in, and you've got 15 minutes, so you can't afford that mistake. Comments below, don't read the comments, it's spoilers, blah, 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 blah. Think of your idea first, and then you know the way, yeah? Comment below how you would get out. Okay? Pause the video if you need to, and I will give you the solution in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Solution is that while your body cannot determine gravity, you need to determine a visual aid of gravity. So maybe spit a little bit, or if you've got something that can hang on your clothing, pick it out and let it go and see if, which way it hangs. But however things hang, whichever way the spit falls, that's down. So the opposite would be up. That's how you get out of it. Guys, we're figuring it out. They're pretty good at the meta kind of rubbish of these games. But Laurie was the biggest struggle, and it was a kind of will he, won't he sort of thing. But there was enough people looking for him that they managed to dig him out in the end. All of them in a coordinated effort looking for him, including Blacktail digging down. So, few, I say. I had them like checking positions and things. They get to Denerim. They get in through the gates. Had they not made it in time, they can thank Aldrich for making it in time, then they would have had to have spent the rest of the winter outside the gates and just try to endure, which would have been interesting to not freeze to death. So, back into Denerim, and we don't know like what the two new characters are doing, but Aldrich has come to meet Duncan and that sort of thing. Mission success. No fatalities, like expected. I was sure that the wolves would be harder than that, and I was almost completely confident that someone would actually die in that avalanche. But they got the right position to pull Amelia out, and that was the only real dodgy one. I mean, Karak for a while looked a bit willy-wonty as well. It's kind of willy. It's a won'ty type. This boy draws on everything cock and balls anyway, isn't it? We'll have to call it his Willy Won'ty. It's got a name now, at least. Right. Anyway. Like Prince became a symbol. That would be Karak's name, Right. So, what happens next, really, it was another session, even though it was just RP. And I will save it as its own video for that. But I will tell you that Karak suggested, well, let's go to Redhold then. Who's coming? And Amelia had to go take her oath and become a full Templar at last and this sort of thing. So she's busy, back off at the base and this. Tannadal's thinking about whether he'll go. And Tim Bob George is dossing around like a Devinter mage would. And the rest of the team are just kind of dispersing. Yellow Eyes having fun out in the city. Oh, and one last thing. While in Denerim, they meet a certain very clever dwarf. Sandal and his guardian. And you never guess what they've got in their shop. They've got the Stein. You remember the Stein? Oh, what attacked me? Something attacked me. You remember the Stein that Karak and Tannadal lost, and that they have this little it's your fault kind of thing about it? Yes, it's there, but it's changed. It doesn't automatically refill with dwarven ale anymore. Oh dear. See, the problem was that Sandal was left to go at it, and he changed it. He changed its very nature. Now what it does? Ah, boy. He's turned it into a weapon, you see. So, here's what it does. He's effectively melded it with a crossbow. So that it's my phone. So that the Stein is atop the crossbow. You put your hand on it. You pull it back. And you fire. Okay? Then as you pull it back again, and the Stein basically re-engages, a new bolt appears out of the Stein. So instead of it recreating ale, it magically creates bolts. So it's effectively a rapid repeat crossbow. It's not a fast repeater, as in like a repeater that can fire faster, effectively. Only that it doesn't need reloads. You just put it back. There's none of this like put it down and foot on top of it and get a bolt out and knock it and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. God, someone's trying to get hold of me here, aren't they? Well, I never. Well, it's lucky that I'm finishing up now, isn't it? So Karak's like, well, I'll get that. And I said, you do realise, you're not an archer type anymore, and neither's Tannadal. None of you guys can use that anymore in that way. Because Sandal's been at it. So you realise that Pete's character, Yellow Eye, the pirate, he's actually uses a crossbow as his primary weapon. And Carrot's like, I'm screwed if I'm letting him have that. If he tries to get his hands on that, I'll kill him. I was like, tell me something new. I wonder how many more of Pete's characters Craig will end up actually killing. That would be interesting. I wonder when Yellow Eye is going to die. It's got to be soon, surely. He survived this. How the hell did he survive this? The hell, Pete, you've gone at least a handful of sessions now. I'm proud of you. Oh, I've done it now, haven't I? Look, I'll see you at the next one, all right? And we'll talk about the huge happenings. This is big news in which at least one of the party, one of the group, will no longer be one of the group. Why? How? I'll see you at the next one.